だから君はもう自由だ。
I didn't understand. Wasn't he my enemy?
リミは
Yeah, about that. Pretty good chance she's dead.
リミはどこへ？リミはもう戻ってこないよ。え？それじゃ。
Shogun skillfully... I can't English. Shogun skillfully maneuvering his wheelchair turned his back to me. I blinked once, and within that time frame, one that hadn't even spanned a single second, Shogun had vanished without a trace. Well, that's probably because, well, he's just dead now. What the hell? What had just happened? Only a couple moments after that, I heard a low-pitched, quaking noise in the distance. Looking over toward the center of Shibuya, I saw something. As if there had been a giant explosion, a single cloud of dense black smoke was making its way up into the sky. Something had happened. No. Something was happening. An uprising? Something paranormal? Or maybe even a battle between gigalomaniacs. Whatever it was, it scared the hell out of me. That mysterious appearance from Shogun had also scared the hell out of me. I didn't want to go anywhere near what was happening out there.
リミはもう戻ってこないよ。
But Rimi could have been over there. She disappeared once again, and yet I was surprisingly calm. It was strange. For some reason, I didn't feel like I'd been betrayed this time. This time, I had the strong belief that Rimi was somewhere out there, struggling all alone, trying her absolute hardest for my sake. But, Rimi, haven't you done enough? Haven't you faced enough hardships as it is? You shouldn't have to suffer any longer. There's no reason to. It's not right. Finally, I remembered the soft sensation of her lips. I was going to look for her. I've had enough of not doing anything, of staying in my room all day like a coward. Our future, for both Rimi and I, in the lives that we shared. There were so many incredible, amazing things waiting for us in the future. I chose to believe that, and I knew in my heart that it was right to do so.
朝一緒に学校行って学校では休み時間にどうでもいいこと話してお昼休みは一緒にご飯食べて夕方一緒に帰って帰るついでにたまにどこかのお店に寄ったりしてタックの部屋でちょっとだけおしゃべりしてそれでまた明日ねって手を振って別れてそんなのでいいなら私いくらでもしてあげるよそういうの結構憧れなんだ
Now I understood. I understood what she had meant by those words. How much she wished for such a simple life. When I thought back on everything, I realized that the time I'd spent with her had only been a few hours in total, but I'd loved every last second of it. I was always happy when I was with her. To me, who had gone through every day all alone as a shut-in, living as though I was dead, Rimi's smile had been my sole source of hope. It told me that a bright future existed ahead of me. Rimi had smiled for my sake. So now, she should smile for her own sake. I believed she would come back. But this wasn't my usual escapism, hoping to avoid reality. No. This was my resolve. I would believe only in her, for she had promised she would be with me forever. So get moving. Move your ass, Nishijo Takumi. And so, in order to see her again, I headed toward the destroyed Shibuya. Wait for me, Rimi. I'll find you. I know I will. And this time, I'll stay by your side. So basically, I could have just recorded for an extra 5 minutes and that would have been the end. Well, that kind of makes the video that's going up at the because I'm recording this at the moment that I upload that video, which makes me feel really fucking stupid. God, I love being an idiot. And by love being an idiot, I hate myself. Ugh. Why am I so dumb? Okay, so where do I even begin? This ending was... Oh, God. It's just kind of a shame it took literally everything going to shit and her being gone for him to kind of like realize, I need to get off my ass and do something. But then again, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. I think there's still some lingering annoyances from the last time I recorded this, but I don't know. On the other hand, I am happy that we got to explore more of Rimi's character. I thought that was actually, aside from the terror, the shit that she went through, which was incredibly uncomfortable, like, getting to see things, some of these events that we've seen through Takumi's perspective, finally seeing it through her perspective and what everything actually looked like was actually pretty good. Especially how freaked out she was when reality rewrote itself around her and she was covered in blood holding the stake. Like, that was actually pretty damn good. Oh. The anima image. Okay. That just leaves, I think, 2 endings. What the fuck? Blue sky. Huh?
Nishijo Nanamiが祈る。兄と共に収容された病院。怪我人があふれた待合室の片隅にうずくまり、実の兄のしわくちゃの手を握りしめて、右手の痛みに耐えて、目を閉じて祈る。もう一人の兄の無事を。楠木優愛が祈る。
So wait a minute, is this taking place during the first ending?
倒壊したビルの瓦礫。そこに埋もれるように横たわるコンテナの中で、彼の美少女フィギュアの一つを握りしめて、地震と火事で醜く変形してしまったフィギュアたちの姿に感じた胸の痛みに耐え、目を閉じて祈る。彼女を許してくれた少年の無事を。岸本綾瀬が祈る。避難所となっている水明学園。 その校舎の屋上で空を見上げて、神話が書かれた文庫本を握りしめて、崩壊した渋谷を覆う不特定多数の妄想が見せる悪意の痛みに耐え、目を閉じて祈る。彼女の歌を、彼女の話を聞いてくれた少年の無事を。折原梢が祈る。新鮮駅の薄暗いホーム、青い瀬名の震える手を握りしめて、足の傷の痛みに耐えて、目を閉じて祈る。心の声で語り合ったクラスメートの少年の無事を。青い瀬名が祈る。
I just realized I think this is one of the only endings where all the girls are still alive.
横たわる父の傍らに座り、父の冷たくなった手を握りしめて、最後まで素直になれなかった後悔の痛みに耐えて、目を閉じて祈る。彼女のお願いに不器用ながら応えようとしてくれた少年の無事を、咲畑りみが祈る。冷たい床に横たわりながら、彼へ伸ばした自らの手をきつく握りしめて、傷だらけの彼の姿を見て感じた。締め付けられるような胸の痛みに耐えて、目を閉じて祈る。自分が守ろうとした、自分を助けに来てくれた少年の無事を。
僕は何もできなかった。
You know what? I was supposed to do the bad ending next. Screw the bad ending. I don't think there's probably anything of value from that. Unless there is. But no. Say, free me!
君が行動したんだ。その結果としてみんなが君のことを見てきた。君という周囲共通認識はとっくに出来上がっているんだ。
Therefore, he deserves to exist.
これからは、いや、もうすでに君こそが。
僕は
Come on.
君は誰？君は僕。
Oh! You are me. Yes.
僕は君。
Yes. I am you. Thou art I.
僕なんていない。
There's no me. No. There is a you.
君なんていない。
No. There is indeed a you.
僕は僕じゃない。
No. You are you.
あなたは鬼。
Aw. Oh, fuck that picture. No, go away, picture. You're bad. Bad.
あなたは日常君。
Holy shit, it's showing all the other endings! Yes.
君、たく。
Okay, now this immediately feels like an emotional... Okay, I like this. Now I'm liking this. Now I'm liking this.
あなたは匠さん。
Okay, that's a little sad. You don't have to show that one.
お前は西条。
Okay, I'm not used to seeing that side of you, Senna. Just gonna say that right now. Hell yeah, out of that picture. Yes.
あなたはタク。
Oh,
僕は僕。
yes! Yes!
僕は妄想の存在。
Yes, you are. But you still deserve to exist.
僕は存在する。
Yes? Yes, you do.
僕は西条匠。
Yes! You're goddamn right. Oh, that's cool.
僕は
Oh, that's cool. Like how the door opened and it showed a blue sky beyond the gray clouds. That was actually really cool. I like that.
その声が聞こえた瞬間に意識が僕を固定した。ぐちゃぐちゃにかき回されていた世界が一気に収束する。
Oh!
根本は僕の理想度を形作って収束する。僕は僕としての形に戻る。世界としての形に戻る。僕は僕だ。
Damn right. I can see clearly now. All my wounds healed. My top and bottom halves are connected. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. The pain is entirely gone. Serenity fills my heart.
妄想によく打ち勝ったね。僕の最後の力を君に託すよ。
I noticed Rimi at the edge of my vision. She's okay. She's looking at me. Tears are falling down her face. Don't cry. Hey, huh? Oh shit, he's calling out all the D-swords? Okay, now we're getting hype. Directly behind me, space begins to warp. Prayers are brought into creation. The 6 gospels are perhaps the impulses of 6 spirits. All too pure, all too graceful, all too dignified. All too sharp, all too ferocious, all too destructive. And all too awash with an ill-omened beauty. I accept every piece of them. The 6 blades writhe above. Wistfully, or perhaps rapturously, they raise their shrieks. Oh no, that's awesome. And fuse with my D-sword. Summoning my strength, I grasp the D-sword's hilt. I ascertain its feeling. My arms work better than ever. I've completely regenerated. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy eviscerating you. I focus my eyes on Norose.
確かに僕は化け物だよ。でもこれが
So I can rescue Rimi. So I can destroy Noah too.
僕が望んだ妄想だ。
Norose's response is swift. He has yet to harvest the code sample of Nishijo Takumi. The delusion was supposed to corner the boy and shatter his psyche, but now the tables have turned. And that he cannot allow. Norose closes the gap between himself and Takumi. Taking a specific angle, he swings his D-sword from below. With a D-sword that can cleave any known object, he diagonally carves through Takumi's chest. The target's durability makes no difference. Killing a person with it is as simple as slicing through a block of gelatin. With one quick swipe from Norose, Takumi's body is split into pieces. His head, right arm, and right shoulder all slide cleanly off of his body. Internal organs litter the floor, but not a single drop of blood falls with them. The lower half of Takumi's body begins to give way. He braces himself and manages to plant his feet. In the following moment, the cross-section of his wound begins to undulate and squirm. A bubbling noise ensues. In this following moment, the cross-section of his wound begins to undulate and squirm. And then he regenerates. Unharmed, unaffected. Even though his body was cleaved apart a mere second ago, already a new head, right arm, and shoulder were born. His old head and internal organs remain where they slid free from him.
性格は遮断した。
I don't need a sense of pain anymore, I'm good to go. With a single step, Takumi approaches Norose. Norose clicks his tongue, then turns over his D-sword.
肉体の形を捨てたがゆえにいかなる形をも取れということですか。
あんたの見せてくれた妄想のおかげだよ。
He's unable to retain his shape as a human being. He took in the delusion and made it his own. This is not regeneration, but replacement. Missing parts replenish. Flesh and bone are produced once again, all propagating infinitely from the dust within his body. His shape is not fixed. Like an amoeba, like a collection of slime, he can change himself freely. That is the reason Takumi calls himself a monster. Takumi takes yet another step toward Norose. Norose's frustration increases. Gripping the hilt, he thrusts his D-sword at the approaching Takumi. Takumi's head finds itself between a colossal pair of scissors.
脳を失えば妄想はできないでしょう。
What if I just said no? Takumi's head is crushed. It splits like a watermelon. Blood and gray matter burst forth. Everything above the neck is gone, and yet Takumi's body remains. Regeneration, replacement is instantaneous. As soon as his heel hit the ground, as if nothing happened, as if he was entirely replaced, his head returns right to where it was without a single scratch. Norose awakens to an understanding. He cannot win this fight! Physical attacks with his D-sword are useless. The delusional attack denying the boy's reason for existence was taken in and used for an alternate purpose. The current Nishijo Takumi is all too removed from human normalcy. all too distorted of an existence, all too fitting as a monster. And yet, despite it all, Norose has no intention of conceding. His next thought is to utilize Noa-2's power to bombard Takumi with innumerable antiparticles. Bombardment with antiparticles can transform any known existence into negative matter, ending ultimately in self-collapse. If disruption from the surface is not viable, then collapse must be undertaken from within.
そうなんだね。
Oh! And the music track. Norose's thoughts were read by Takumi. The shine of Takumi's D-sword transforms from red to black. A black flame envelops the blade. It wriggles forth, extending outward. Its shape resembles that of a dark, colossal serpent.
そして現れるの。
It roams throughout the dome as if constrained by it. Toward the ceiling, toward the floor, as though it is licking them up, as though it is scraping them away. It simply consumes.
邪神の口説き大事。あらゆる崩壊を飲み込み、邪神の身を砕くことのできる。糖質にして異質なるもの。
God, I love this shit now. The body of the colossal serpent is composed of antiparticles. With a mere touch, it can send any known object into self-collapse. A torrent of destruction composed of near infinite greed.
触手芸はあんまり好みじゃないけど。
God damn it! There and then, Takumi's D-sword swings, its pointed tip fixed on Norose. The dark serpent, winding itself in a coil, curves its body like a whip. Its jaw snaps at Norose.
まさかこれほどとは。
Not once has Norose ever seen such a phenomenon from a D-sword. He cannot discern whether it was the hidden power of all Gigalomaniacs or merely Takumi's delusion. The dark fangs erode Norose's body as he begins to collapse. All too slowly, like a frog slowly dissolving in the belly of a snake. Darkness swallows him. He feels no pain. By nature, his death should be instant. But that is not what Takumi wishes for. Realizing this, Norose's lips twist into a derisive smile. Norose had no fear of death. One could say that the ideals he pursued were accomplished with the completion of Noa 2.
私を殺してもノア2には誰も近づけない。永久期間なんですよ、それは。
A perpetual motion machine.
人類を未来永劫にわたって管理し続ける。ただ座して眺めているだけではない、人の幸福のために干渉してくる人工の神なのです。
Norose is God's inventor, so to speak. As long as Noa 2 continues to exist, mankind will not perish, and the eternal utopia Norose seeks will become real. However,
あんたなら近づけるんでしょ。
The serpent's body wriggles and writhes with Norose in its grip, lifting his body into the air.
それならあんたは鍵だ。
Norose is astonished, but soon enough his face changes into an expression of pure agony. The serpent swings about his body with ease. Takumi shoots a glance at Rimi. Their eyes meet. Just what is Rimi feeling as she watches him? Reading her mind would be effortless, and yet Takumi does nothing of the sort. It seems I was able to save you after all. He quickly averts his eyes. His gaze then shifts to the still humming Noah 2, the throne of God where none may stand foot. A cradle which shows naught but dreams of bliss.
ごめん。
He apologizes to no one in particular.
僕は人類にとっての敵かもね。
Honestly, this is for the best. The eternal utopia this device would bring. A future without conflict. Takumi will extinguish them with his own two hands. Is that right? Or is it wrong? Takumi cannot give the answer to that.
でも神話でもよくあるでしょう。神だって女絡みでうだうだやってる。だから僕も
Will sacrifice the happiness of mankind out of love for a girl. Takumi, D-sword in hand, bends his arms in a giant arc.
突き破れ
He thrusts it forth, just like a javelin. The colossal serpent of darkness charges straight ahead. With the bait known as Norose impaled by its tip, it flies straight toward Noah 2. An enormous serpent of antiparticles capable of terminating any known object. It had no will of its own. Thus, it is not something that could be warped nor distorted. With the greedy impulse to destroy, using Norose as the key, the delusional barrier is easily smashed to pieces. Bye-bye, Norose. Was that Norose's D-sword shattering? I think that was. It was described as having like a scissor shape. Or at least had a scissors at the end. Oh, world ended again. Oh. When did the rain begin to fall? There was just a huge explosion. And its blast blew my body away like it was nothing more than a rag doll. Next thing I knew, I found myself lying here. Those eyes are always watching me. The stare pierces through the thick pitch-black rain clouds and pours down on me like rain. Don't look at me. My body won't stop shivering, not from the chill of the rain, but rather the ice-cold rubble pressing against my back. Wait a minute, I feel like this is different. So terribly cold. A gaze pierces me from the heavens. Who it belongs to, I can't say. As if to escape it, I raise my head to look at the environment around me. Yeah, didn't it last time he say he couldn't feel anything? There I see a ruined city. There I see despair. There I see death. There I see nothingness. Not a soul is here. Not a soul is there. Not a soul is moving. Not a soul is left alive. The only thing I can hear is the sound of the rain continuing to pour. At this rate, everything, both the living and the dead, will it all be gently embraced and washed away? How nice it would be if all of this was just a delusion, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I can't move my body. I can only move my eyes and neck, and even then just barely. I can't use that monstrous power from before. My body is shivering, but that's nothing more than a physiological phenomenon. It isn't happening by my own will. I don't want my body to tremble. If I can't move it freely, then it isn't my body. Or maybe I've never had free will ever since I was born. Nobody knows exactly where the soul resides. Bearing that in mind, how can anyone say that there's a soul inside this body of mine? But then where exactly am I now? Am I really here? Am I anywhere at all? In this shattered world where it stands still, where all that can be heard is the rain of death, suddenly another sound echoes through it. A single, solitary existence begins to emerge from the sea of nothingness. Who are you? Is your skin so pale? Because it's been numbed by the chill of the rain? Or is it because you're already dead? And yet the girl isn't shivering. And those eyes of hers nearly hidden by her bangs. Don't look at me. They look so terribly sad. They look as if they hold a hint of madness. They look as if they reflect nothing. If she and I were the only ones left in the world, if we stared into each other's eyes like this for all eternity, would my world be reduced to the reflection in her eyes? Would her world be reduced to the reflection in my eyes? The only thing reflected in her eyes is me. The only thing reflected in my eyes is her. When I think of it that way, the world immediately seems so much smaller. Suddenly, a flash of static reaches my ears, one endlessly beautiful yet deeply discordant. She lowers her head and spreads her arms wide, almost as if preparing to take off, to soar high above the rain clouds, or as if trying to catch all the falling rain.
あなたを見つめる妄想
From where I am on the ground, I can't see the expression on that lowered head of hers. Behind this thin veil of rain, just what kind of face are you making? And she's calling out her D-sword.
殺してあげる
An angel. Are those dancing feathers of light blessing me, or... Ah, I see. I finally understand. She's going to use that to kill me. The girl slowly kneels to the ground right before my collapsed body. With her head still lowered, she gently takes my own in her hands. I surrendered my body to her grasp. I'm just relieved that she isn't looking at me.
殺さなくちゃいけないの
So it feels like this is just the normal end. In my ear, I hear a whisper garbled by static as it's beautiful as it's discordant.
ごめんね
There's nothing to apologize for. If I don't disappear, the other me, the real me, will die. So that's why I'm okay with this. In fact, I'm really glad I got to be erased by you. It's not a bad end for a monster like me. I don't have any regrets. A warm, soft, gentle, sweet sensation. And miraculously, as if it were an anesthetic, the shivering in my body slowly begins to die down. Her soft breath tickles my cheeks. It smells so sweet. Suddenly, I sense something pressing against my chest. The large sword she holds tears through my skin, bores into my flesh, weaves through my bones, and slowly sinks through to the center of my body. But gifted with the anesthesia of her kiss, I can no longer feel any pain. I would have never imagined I'd get such a kind death. Just the thought of it breaks my heart, leaving me on the verge of tears. Trying to hide them, I look past the girl's head up toward the ashen sky where the rain continues to pour. Hmm.
殺せない
Oh! Her lips pull away from me. Her sad whispers trickle into my ears.
やっぱりタクを殺せないよ
I feel no pain. Her sword isn't real booted. My body isn't injured in the slightest.
でも消してくれなきゃ。本物の僕が。
Will die. He will die. That's why I should die instead. That way he can stay alive for just a little bit longer. I'm sure that's what you want too.
消して。消すんだ。僕を。
できない。
Rimi lightly shakes her head. Those eyes of hers waver as they stare at me.
好きなの。あなたの弱さが好き。弱いくせに、臆病なくせに、ボロボロになって私なんかを助けに来てくれた。その強さが好きなの。あなたと同じ時間をもっと過ごしたいの。あなたを失いたくない。あなたに生きていてほしい。
You'll look at me?
僕は化け物なんだ。
私だって同じだよ。
Is it okay for me to keep on living?
君がそれを選んだなら
There's the other real Takumi right there.
生きていていいんだ。
In a way, like, I can understand. It's... Takumi created Taku, not only to stop Noah too, but I imagine in another way, to live the life that was robbed from him because of his condition, you know? And with that, I understand. Because our minds are directly connected, I perceive a certain feeling. That right now, at this very moment, his life just vanished.
匠が死んだんだね。
In that moment, Rimi quickly sensed the emotions my face conveyed. Hesitating for a moment, I gave her a faint nod. Don't cry. I don't want you to cry. Feeling returns to my entire body. Warmth returns to my body as well. Even though my movements are still clumsy. Even though I'm still trembling. With the hand I can move, I take out a vermilion handkerchief. Rimi's face is covered in tears. The droplets that are so beautiful, so clear. I softly wipe them away with all the memories you've given me.
僕も君が好きです。
Rimi tightly clasps my hand, as if she wishes to cling to it forever. As if to confirm that we exist right here. The warmth within us is contagious. Both my and your temperatures melt together. The two of us look up at the sky. Without a doubt, it's covered by clouds. But
光は電磁波の波。その振動現象を人の視覚は色として捉え、
タク、その言葉。
words that only he and Rimi should know. Words that he used to give Rimi hope. And yet I know them because I've seen his memories. He and I are one in body and soul. My memories and his are shared between us. His memories of the 17 years of life he lived were all passed down to me. And he vicariously experienced my own year and a half of life.
自分のデッドスポットに望む色を当てはめれば、僕たちのあの空の色は取り戻せる。
We know that color because in that image world of only sea and sky, it's the color we gazed up at and burned into our memories. The rain stopped. Suddenly the rain stops. In an instant, the clouds vanish. It's clearing up, coming back. Something that, no matter where you look, always seems to draw you in, gently blankets the world. The blue sky above. I'm free! Okay, this still leaves a bunch of questions. Like, is the world now just like, now that Noah is gone, is the world literally just, is it really gone? Is it just Rimi and Takumi that are now alive in this world? I wonder. Like, where'd everybody else go, I wonder? I mean, we're probably gonna get, like, a reveal, like, after these credits roll. Oh. Alright. Alright, so how do we go over this? Do I regret reading this novel? No. I don't even have to think about it. I do not regret reading this novel. I have had my complaints, which I guarantee my complaints have probably gotten on the nerves of a lot of people. I get that. Like, I'm just gonna throw out the negatives immediately right here. The main character being a degenerate. I kind of understand where they were going, but god damn. There is... like, this kind of reminds me of why I dislike fan service, or especially back in the early days whenever I started my channel. I tried to avoid stuff that had, like, fan servicey shit because I was sheltered. I didn't like shit like that. It felt like this... It felt like this character, Takumi, is literally my antithesis. Like, he is... like, goddamn! But... okay. Him being a degenerate, like, throw that away from there. The delusion system, like, the delusion trick... oh, hey, never mind! We're actually getting revealed that they're all strangely okay. Okay, that implies that she got her hand reattached? Does that mean that her hand was still cold and she was able to pop it right back on? Fuck it, I don't know. Anyway, continuing. The delusion system was actually interesting in that it's the delusions triggers were basically what decided what path you ended up on, aside from the fact that, you know, there was the first path you have to go through and that unlocks the other routes. The entire idea of delusions being made to reality kind of there's a Switch version of this? I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm losing track of I'm losing my mind a little bit here. Oh, right, comparisons. The delusion system kind of reminds me of how rumors become reality in a person. I probably shouldn't be revealing that. Also, my god, girl, you are bleeding. You might want to get that checked. Hopefully you didn't hit the right If you hit the wrong artery, you're gonna die in like 10 minutes. Anyway, actually, no, she should be fine. I think. God, I'm losing track here. It was an interesting system. Also, like, narratively, the fact that our main character has so many delusions, but ironically, the delusions he has are constantly lowering the remaining life of the original Takumi. The entire thing about how our main character has only existed for about a year and a half. Holy shit! A dude who is like, has this horrific condition, creates an entire existence. God, crazy good actually there. That was actually pretty good. Can somebody destroy that? I am still of the mind that, like, he definitely used that damn, Seraton as, like, a, kind of like an addiction or a sort of distraction from, you know, reality and shit like that. I'm still of the mind that he just used it as an unhealthy, distraction. Because some people tend to do that. They will use something or an object as an unhealthy distraction to kind of keep it, like, escape reality and shit like that. Again, we're talking about the delusion triggers. Even though I never really partook in the positive and the negatives, because I'll be perfectly honest, 90% of the positive delusions are just fan servicey, degenerate bullshit, while the other negatives are probably just going to be, blood! Whoa! Ending complete. Reached all endings. Blue Sky reached the final ending. The prelude delusion of Zero has been unlocked. Huh? What the fuck? No, go away. Okay, so apparently I'm not done yet. Whoa. Hey, new title screen. Oh, that's cool. Well, shit, I guess we're gonna have to go in for one more episode, but for right now, I am stopping. I am going to go right off the high that I am free of this novel. Again, I don't regret reading it, but good God, I probably will not read it again. On the other hand, YouTube has been recommending me a video about how it's fantastic with its horror, which, you know what? I will give that another as a positive. This novel fucking nailed some of the horror aspects. Like, goddamn, I'm sorry, the paranoid delusion shit, I love that. That was actually really fucking good. I'm cursing a lot here, but I don't know. I don't care. I am riding the high. I am free. For the time being, I'm getting a drink. Screw it, I lied. All right, you know what? Let's actually go with the prelude. Let's do it. All right, let's see what this is all about. Delusion of Zero, a Chaos Head prelude. Alrighty. Before I pass on, allow me to recount my memories. Oh! Oh, this is from... Okay, hold on. I bet this is probably from, Real Takumi. Before I pass on, allow me to recount my memories leading to this moment. Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world. Those are the words of Albert Einstein. When his delusion, E equals MC squared, embraced the world, how had the man felt? Yes, what you surmise is true. The famous, gifted physicist was in fact a gigalomaniac. Oh my god, no way! And a fairly exceptional one, at that. My powers undoubtedly pale in comparison to his. Yet despite my saying so, I unknowingly brought a similar delusion into existence. To deny that reality would be a fool's errand, for my delusion has already spread far across the world. Fun to the 10th power times intelligence to the 40th equals IR2. I believe I was in the 4th grade when I materialized that formula. It was also around that time when my body first began to suffer various abnormalities. Ever since its very birth, that delusion has slowly eroded my body. In a mere 6 months, I was no longer able to walk unassisted. At the time, I was not aware of my status as a gigalomaniac. I somehow managed to continue attending classes, but I proved unable to participate in an upcoming field trip due to my worsening condition. Oh, that's why! And so, despite my intense anticipation for the event, my parents forbade me from attending, which birthed in me a fierce resentment toward them for a time. From that moment onward, my delusions continued to engorge, delusions synonymous with nothing but pure envy. These very delusions would go on to injure my classmates who had gone on the field trip without me, and kill the chaperoning teacher. Only then did I come to realize that I harbored a terrifying power. I was admitted to the hospital soon after. Oh, hey, we're now actually... okay. I was admitted to the hospital. More time would pass, and eventually all the doctors present gave up on diagnosing my condition. All the doctors, save for one. Norose Genichi. Although I was fairly young when I first encountered him, it only took a glance to understand this man's true, sinister nature. The two of us were alike, after all. Two souls far removed from common sense. Naturally, because of this fact, his proposed treatment for my condition was denied, and he was dismissed from my case. I was fortunate in that his successor turned out to be Dr. Takashina. Before Norose departed, however, I took the time to peer into his mind and learned of both Project Noah and Nozomi technology. The very hospital I had been admitted to also served as the lair of my enemy. If nothing was done, my delusion would be utilized by Project Noah, and grave consequences would befall the world. When I realized this, I immediately attempted escape, but that was when I grasped a terrifying truth. Only as a result of my treatment had I come to reach a form of stability. In other words, my body had already deteriorated to a point where I could no longer survive outside of the hospital. I was intensely aware of the fact that my enemies were always near. I kept them at bay with delusions, but my body grew weaker with each person I stayed. A vicious cycle that only served to further extend my stay at the hospital. If this were to continue, my capture by Norose would be inevitable. With no other options left to me, I was forced to erase every trace of my existence. I had ceased attending classes some time prior to that point, so upon my classmates' graduation from elementary school, I executed my plan.
Our treatment of Nishijo Takumi has proven successful, and he has thus been discharged from the hospital.
That is the fiction I created, one I implanted into the minds of my parents, as well as the entirety of the hospital staff. Any person who had any possibility of coming into contact with Norose was put under this impression. Then, using my delusions, I isolated myself in a hospital room separated from the rest of the building. But I was not able to alter everyone's memories. My younger sister Nanami proved to be an exception. Only she was able to enter the room with no semblance of difficulty. She did not even seem to recognize the room as separate from the hospital. Of course, whenever she took it upon herself to visit the hospital, I crafted a delusion allowing her to remain unseen by anyone present. Protective big brother. Nanami, while quite childish, showed nothing but concern for me during my time in the hospital. Even on my darkest days, she put forth her best effort to care for me. Those moments showed me how strong she truly was. And I found myself unable to steal her memories away from her. Nanami, however, was not the only exception. Rimi. This was the time I came to know a girl named Sakihata Rimi. Rimi had been confined to the hospital's basement for nearly a year. Every day she would face brutal, ceaseless torture at the hands of Norose, but no matter how hard I tried to call out to her, my voice would never reach her. It was only upon her eventual awakening as a gigalomaniac that I finally managed to synchronize with her delusion. In that moment, I entered the world inside her mind, her image world. Whether that was truly for the best, I have yet to determine. The delusions she carries within her are endlessly sorrowful, and yet they are also her reality. Unable to face it, she had killed her own heart and mind numerous times before I met her, destroying all remnants of her past selves. The formula born from my delusions had brought this girl endless suffering. So you felt responsible, and you felt, exactly. You felt you should take responsibility. But again, you're a kid. Who could possibly predict something as something like a formula shifting the entirety of the world? For all these reasons, I saved her. My delusionary powers allow me to travel anywhere. In reality, my body is still incapable of walking, but I am able to create a door that leads to any destination. Producing those delusions requires a great deal of strength, however, forcing me to only using it sparingly. And yet, despite this fierce tax on my body, I would not hesitate to give my life if it meant stopping Project Noah, a project I had effectively founded when I allowed my delusion to spread across the world. And so, upon isolating myself, I began to pour every ounce of strength into halting the advancement of Project Noah. However, the skill my enemies possessed matched my own, rendering my efforts useless. They had established a defensive strategy, and with it, the search for me had begun. If I were to make even one mistake, I would be discovered in an instant and captured. This manhunt would only serve to increase the danger Nanami was in, as the two of us were family. I had no desire to involve anyone in this fight, so I hid myself away from the world. In the end, I was naive, and 3 years went by entirely wasted. During that time, I conjured numerous delusions, but each only served to weaken me further. If this were to continue, there would be no way of stopping Project Noah. For this reason, I decided to give birth to you. To achieve this end, I had to sever every link I had left to society. My final remaining connection to the outside world, to my normal life, was Nanami. Because of this, I was forced to erase all memory she had of me. I know that my actions caused her a great deal of pain. In our last moments together, it was clear how deeply hurt she was. Even so, I knew that pain was sure to leave her momentarily. As long as she forgot about me, she would be able to return to her normal life. Wishing only for her happiness, I liberated her from the burden known as myself. It was with Rimi that I miscalculated. Naturally, I tried to erase her memories as well. I wanted her to forget about her awakening as a gigalomaniac, about her sickly torture at the hands of Norose, and that she had ever met me. I wanted to give her a normal life. However, Rimi is an exceptionally skilled gigalomaniac. No matter how many times I tried to overwrite her memories, my delusions were deflected without fail. It was clear she was very experienced in locking away her heart, all while wearing the brightest of smiles on her face. My attempts having borne no fruit, I abandoned all hope of altering her memories, and thus redirected my efforts. Creating a human from nothing proved difficult, even with the power of delusions. I've come to know that the human soul is incredibly delicate, that it is as elaborate as it is precise. In order to create you, I focused completely on the personality the delusions would form. For an entire month's time, you were all I thought about. In a way, it was quite similar to falling in love, though I myself have never known the feeling. If you were to come to know this, I'm sure you would feel repulsed. Essentially, you are me. My memories, my abilities, and finally my name. I've entrusted them all to you. The moment you are born, I will no longer be the boy known as Nishijo Takumi. From that moment on, I shall take on the moniker Shogun. Why Shogun, you may ask? Well, I quite like Togo Shogun. That's all there is to it. With that being said, once you are born, your role will no doubt be a very painful one. First and foremost, you must awaken as a gigalomaniac. To meet this end, you will have to endure an extreme mental load, a grave, unforgiving strain on your psyche. Once you awaken and grasp your D-Sword, the battle against Nozomi technology will begin. The battle to stop Project Noah. That is my ultimate goal, and by extension, yours. But I would be remiss if I did not say this. My reason for creating you was incredibly selfish, but I had no other choice. I cannot do this on my own. I hope you can find it in yourself to forgive me. When the curtain finally falls, you will be free. Once you are granted this freedom, please grant me this in return. I ask that you turn a blind eye to my selfish desires, including forcing these memories onto you. And I ask that you be a good older brother to Nanami. Please. If I had the ability, I would have done this all myself. I would have done it while dreaming of the peace I would see once it all came to a close. It is a pleasure to meet you, Nishijo Takumi. Yet, this is also goodbye, Nishijo Takumi. Welcome to the world. Harsh battles await you, as do infinite possibilities. As long as the blue sky above exists, that fact can never be denied. You are me, and at the same time, you are also you. A hospital room none would visit, dyed orange by the setting sun. Clutching her knees silently in one of its corners, Sakihata Rimi noticed something strange occurring in Nishijo Takumi's bed. His breathing had quickened. His chest, reduced to mere skin and bone, rose and fell rapidly with each breath. With a low gasp, Rimi watched as innumerable thorned vines slowly radiated from the bed's center. A delicate construct that appeared both metallic yet organic, with a beauty that rivaled even the most breathtaking of sights. Vines of such description colored the room. They crept and crawled over the walls and floor, overtaking every inch of the closed space the two resided in. Like the veins of a leaf, shards of translucent glass emerged from the surface of the vines, each pulsating with a flickering red light. Together, it was reminiscent of an 8-headed serpent, each branch possessing its own will. Nishijo Takumi's D-Sword. Rimi had only seen it once before, but at the same time it had been confined to one of his weak, frail hands, wrapped around it as tight as could be. Nishijo Takumi remained motionless on the bed. In spite of Rimi's attempts to inhibit him, she realized he had been successful in creating another self. As she gazed upon him, memories resurfaced of the time she had asked him if he intended to die as a result of his actions. To this, he had merely nodded. Soon, the pulsing glow of the D-Sword covering the walls began to dim, and before long the vines began to dry and crack. As they crumbled away around her, Rimi slowly rose to her feet. Taking care not to run into any thorns, she cautiously made her way over to the bed. Standing by his side, she lifted her hand and gently caressed Shogun's desiccated cheek. Still, he continued to breathe. Would he ever regain consciousness someday? At that moment in time, somewhere in Shibuya, another Nishijo Takumi had been born. Would she ever come to meet him someday? Until that day came, she would continue to wait here. For she had no family. For she had nowhere else to go. For she had no home to return to. No one waiting for her. Gazing out the window, Rimi looked to the many skyscrapers of Shibuya, each dyed a deep orange by the twilight, as a single trickle of tears slid down her cheek. All of this came a mere 18 months before the Shibuya collapse. A mere 18 freaking months. A year and a half. There's probably one last thing we could probably look at here. Platkodon. A D-Sword that reflects Rimi's longing for, as well as a deep desire to see the blue sky, materializing in the form of wings that could help her fly to that sky. I think I already... Unlike the other D-Swords, it can divide into multiple parts and transform, which hints that the existence known as Sakihata Rimi is one of countless divisions and births. When real-booting, countless white feathers are released from the D-Sword, or from the sword and scatter across the air. However, even these are a part of the D-Sword. So, that still leaves... Okay, interesting. Album achievement rate, 90%. Damn! Whose eyes are those eyes? 100%. Okay, well... I think I'll just put this on the end of the final ending, so... 82 hours?! It took me 82 hours to finish this behemoth? Impressive. I'll say that is impressive. Okay. Alright. A few more things I guess I'll add. The music, pretty damn good. I really can't even complain about the music. I still think some of the more horrifying ones, like, I wonder if I can find them. This doesn't even look... This doesn't even look like it belongs in the same game now that I think about it. Ooh, Truth and False, what's that one? Oh, cool, they even have the artist who made them! That's awesome! So now I can, oh my god, so I can actually look up the name of the song and also learn who made what. Oh, that's so good! Oh, that is actually really good. Okay, that makes me happy. That makes me really happy that I can actually look this stuff up and see who created them. Oh, that is awesome! Wait, what the hell was the name of that? Fetishism orc? Okay, cool. The Necklace of Vajrayana. The Gospel of Hallelujah. What's that one? Oh, wait a minute. I bet you those are the actual ending songs. That'll probably, that'll probably play, some copyright. By the way, every freaking episode of this damn series has been copyright claimed. Because of music. Every single episode. Oh, God. Wait, is this one? Oh, yeah. Fuck you, Sarah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, guys. Wait a minute. I know it. Oh, never mind. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, yeah! All right. That's it, people. We're done. So, would I play the... No, I'm never going to play this novel again. Actually, in retrospect, now that I think about it, I imagine the real reason that Takumi kind of is such a degenerate is because, well, Nishijo Takumi was literally creating a whole ass human. So, of course, there are going to be several screws loose in his creation, now that I think about it. Huh. Well, shit, that actually kind of makes a little bit more sense. Doesn't excuse it, I'm just saying it makes a lot more sense now. Oh, I guess I should probably answer the... was this a good novel? Yes, it was a good novel. Despite my complaints, despite the negatives that I think the positives still kind of outweigh some of the negative that this novel has. It's... Whenever it goes into the horror angle, god damn it, it nails it. Whenever it goes into the psychological stuff, does a really good job. I don't like degenerate main characters, though. I'm hoping that if I ever read anything else by these guys, which will probably be... I don't know. I really hope... Wait a minute. Apparently there's also another sequel novel called Chaos Child, I think like that. Please tell me the main character is not a goddamn degenerate, because if so, I will actually probably read that. But right now, I've completed Persona 3 Reload, and I've completed this. Those were both very long Let's Plays. I'm taking a break. I'm gonna do a bunch of one-shots, and I'm gonna enjoy myself for a little bit before I even think about returning to a long series. I need a goddamn palate cleanse. Thank you all for managing to stick with me through this novel. I'll see you guys in... whatever the hell I decide to do after I upload this. My head hurts. I'm gonna go have a delusion
of like a big pot of coffee.